Okay, so I think I'm live right now. Let's see. Okay, so today I wanted to start off my initial balance Wednesday streams um, by going over like the top three cryptocurrencies I'm looking at, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So let's start off with Bitcoin. Um, Actually, I think I have a few drawings for that chart. Yeah, on this. Let's see. Okay, that looks good. Um. Anyways, so for today's initial Balance Wednesday stream, I wanted to go over Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Right now, I'm gonna start by looking over Bitcoin. So Bitcoin this week. Let's see. This week started on the 30th. So this weekly profile includes Monday, and this monthly profile starts on Tuesday. So they're about the same. Just wanted to mention that because these, like the weekly POC and the monthly POC, don't quite line up. But this week, we do see here that Bitcoin had a positive move from, it looks like this was June's point of control. So here's where June ended. It had this naked POC here. We didn't quite retest the exact point of control, but if we turn on, let's see, so if we turn on the trading views, monthly POC, I'll leave it on auto for now. You can see here that this section right here was where the point of control was, and we did kind of retest this point of control zone, I've been calling it. So it's really like this section here that we saw price get to. If we turn off the TPO for now, this is where price went to on Tuesday. It tested that point of control area. If you remember, there were like two zones. It looked like a little like M shaped. Yeah, so kind of like this section here. The POC is in this bottom zone. We didn't quite get to retest it, but seeing price reverse after testing this point of control zone is bullish to me. So we went down, tested it. You can see here was a good entry after the point of control moved up for July. We saw it moved up. You didn't quite get a point of control entry like exactly. We did see price react bullishly from it. And these two sections here are monthly zones. I think I could, yeah, like little monthly sections for, I think it was June, or it might have been a previous month. But right now, if I delete these for now, I should start these drawings over at some point. So right now, I do see price kind of bouncing, kind of building this zone a little bit more. So this is June's TPO profile. So if we lock that, let's make another section for this zone here. So these are the two like zones that we saw in June's TPO profile. So I would I guess not expect, but I would like to see price kind of bounce around these two before it makes a decision on either up or down this month. We tested the upper side, now we're testing the lower side. So we might just wait. I might just wait and see how price reacts on the like order flow chart. If you are on TikTok, you can see the order flow chart on landscape, and on YouTube I'll swap over. Did I swap over? Yeah. So on, let me see. Okay. So if you're on TikTok, you'll have to switch to landscape. But on YouTube here, you can see that this is the 30-minute chart. Actually, I'm going to switch to the Delta chart. With the Delta chart, you can find it's more easy. It's a little bit easier to tell when price is reversing, as you can see like a shift in Delta. Let's do Delta 10K. Okay, so Delta, let's see, June, July. This looks not right. Let's see. Actually, with Bitcoin, I forgot you can just use the browser as well. So I'm gonna go to Bitcoin and switch over to the, let's do Delta 10 million. You can see session opened in this section here. And whoops, I forgot TikTok is not set up for that. Anyways, let's switch over the Delta chart a little bit. Okay, so if you're on TikTok, you'll have to switch to landscape. But on YouTube here, you see you have price kind of like ranging a little bit since that's 1900. Right now it's 1102. Either way, you see price ranging here. Here's where you can see a shift in Delta. I think this actually just shows you the Delta for the day. I'll have to rearrange my setup later on, but for me, I would use order flow to see it, like the order flow chart, to see when I notice either a shift in Delta to help me like know when, if prices after it ranges, if it's gonna go up or down. If I switch back to trading view here, here you can see price reacting positively here. For this week, we have the point of control down here. It is a shorter week, as we have, I believe Tuesday is a shorter trading day, and Friday markets are closed in the US, so there's probably not going to be a lot of volume, but I would expect to see maybe something like this. Again, not financial advice. Maybe you might see like some dips below and some price to go above, but for the most part, I would want to see like this area increase a little bit more this weekly TPO profile. So for me, area where I might be looking for longs for this week would be in this section here, this point of control section for the week. So if we label it weekly, give me something more green. Sure. Just gonna save it. Yeah. So this section is where I would maybe be interested in getting long, at least short term. And if you're looking on the upside on areas of resistance, we just tapped this monthly, like monthly zone. This was on the June's TPO profile. So we already tested it. We're testing the lower section of it. So yeah, if I was looking for shorts, I would look somewhere up here. And if I was looking for longs, I would look somewhere down here. Again, not financial advice. As a scalp play, I might check out the order flow profile and see if I can find a shift in delta to see if I can get a scalp to test this section again. For Ethereum, let's wait for the chart to load. You can see we've been ranging for a while in this section here, this rectangle section. We tried to break lower, we rejected, and now we're still in this section. So for me, a short-term target would be like 2750 or so. That's this weekly developing point of control. And you can see for June, you have this like zone here, I like to call it. So if we draw that section out, we zoom in, kind of like that section is where I would say that zone is at. Let's lock it, and that's June, so that's monthly. Yeah, so for me, I would check the order flow chart to see if I could find again a shift in delta or a delta divergence. But near term, I would be looking, because we kind of ripped straight up here, we do have this like single print zone. I think you can enable them on TradingView. Let's see. Yeah. So you have this small single print here. I would like to see price go down and kind of retest like this June's POC as we rip straight through it. We have the single print here as well. So areas for entry for me for this week might be like around here where I would pay attention. And of course you have this June POC a little higher at 2518. Let me mark it out here. Do I have a template for that? Probably not. Nope, not what I'm looking for. Okay, so we'll see if we see Ethereum go down to this level, either June's POC or this single print or this zone here for the week. If we check out last month's TPO profile, you can see it's more or less like this section here. So we'll mark that as monthly. market. Yeah. So for me, I am bearish short term, at least for like the next few hours or so. I would like to see price go down, test these zones. I would want to see price test like this section here. Oh, wrong tool. I would like to see price test like this section ideally, which I'm not sure if we'll get, but that is what I'm looking in for in Ethereum. If we do see bullish price action here, the next resistance zone would be, let's see, I might have to shift the time frame higher just so that the 6 month profile builds, well, and the 3 month. But we'll wait for the TPO profiles to build here. Might just take a few minutes, or hopefully not a few minutes, maybe a few seconds. But while that builds, let's see. This section here, I believe, was a support resistance zone based on the 6 month profile. Yeah, I'm gonna have to shift higher. Let's do 1 hour. Anything on the monthly? Okay, so for the month, it does make sense that we're rejecting where we are right now. This was the monthly section, and if we try to be more conservative with it, it's like this section here. If you're really conservative, kind of like that section there, and you can see that we did reject from it, which if price was going higher, I would want to see price like jump above it and then use it as a retest and maybe for price to chop around here. But because we had a solid rejection there, for me, I am still looking for a move to the downside for the next day or so. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on Ethereum. If we switch over to Solana, we'll have to wait for the, oh well, let me check Ethereum. I was going to check the 6 month and 3 month TPO profiles. Let's wait for them to build. For the 3 month and 6 month TPO profiles, because it is the beginning of July, I'm using the look back indicator, or the look back on the indicator settings. So it'll grab the it'll grab the past 3 months of data instead of grabbing data every 3 months. Okay, it looks like I may have to shift time frames again. Let's see. Well, right now I really just want the quarterly and the 6 month profile. And you can see here on this was June's, like a little zone, support resistance zone for the month of June. You can also have some added confluence here, as this was the, excuse me, it looks like that was the like the first week of June. That week's TPO was there, we did kind of go straight through it above and below, and then we had kind of a little price action around it, and now we're rejecting from it. So that's another area of confluence, and because we did reject, I would want to check out the order flow chart again to see if I can either notice a delta divergence or maybe some stacked imbalances in that area, which I'll have that chart ready for for next week. Right now on TikTok, I believe I have it capturing just EXO charts. But yeah, let's see if we got the 3-month profile to load. There we go. The 6 months it's taking way too long. Yeah, but an added area of confluence for me for a move to the downside would be this quarterly TPO. So we technically did test it on, let's see, that was today at 9 a.m. Central Time. We ripped straight through it. But because this is a quarterly TPO, I would not be surprised if we do see price action reversed and test that section again. So something like this, maybe like a wick down here, and then we'll see how price reacts from it. I'm expecting maybe some choppy price action, sideways price action, especially with this week being a shorter week. Man, why won't this 6-month profile load? As long as we are in this zone here, like I do, like for the top of the area to get tested at some point this month. But it is Ethereum has been doing a whole lot of nothing since early May, just chopping around sideways. So I would expect more chop. Nothing on the 6 month. Let's do 6 hours. Well, I could do this other indicator. Oh, wait. There we go. It's not the one I was looking for. Oh, there we go. So now, there we go. There's my preferred setup. So here we have the 6-month TPO profile in this section right here. Because this is the 6-month TPO and it's still early July, that's another reason of confluence for me to see price action like stay in this zone for a little bit. So if we mark that out, let's do like that section there. And if we zoom in now to like the 30-minute, you can see it does kind of line up as well with my previous idea. So to me, there's a lot of confluence here for seeing price action move to the downside, especially with this rejection here. So now we swap over to Solana. This blue section here, I believe this was June's like point of control section. It looks like it's like the value area for the most part. If we adjust it to try to capture like this zone here, and this zone over here. I'll have to go a little bit lower. There we go. Well, it is kind of ranging in this section here right now because we did test this section here. We're on this other section here. If I'm looking for a move to the upside, it would still be around this 156 area. If I actually remove that and have something like that, something like this, and then something like this. You can see these three like support resistance zones from the month of June. Right now, for the month of July, you can see we are seeing price action kind of like fill this zone here. That was like empty. Not empty, but like the zone between these two sections. So you're trying to like fill this empty space here. And this empty space here. So right now, I would like to see, because we do see bullish price action after testing this lower section, which was also June's POC. Yeah. So this blue section here, blue line was June's point of control. It had a solid entry here for me. And then we are testing this section 1. And I would like to see price test this section again. You see, we did reject from July's developing point of control, which was, it doesn't include that much data since we're still pretty early on. But if we are going to test higher, I might want to see price range between this section here. Excuse me, between this section. Let me grab another tool. Between there and maybe like the top of this range. So I'll leave that on there and we'll see how price reacts throughout the week. But these are the next support resistance zones that I'm looking for price to react to, at least for this week. You see you have the weekly point of control down here as well. So if we do see price action stay below this monthly POC, I would like to see a bid. Not financial advice. I would like to see price action. Did I make something here? Yeah. I would like to see this zone retested here. And we'll mark that as weekly. Yeah, so we'll leave that there for now. We'll revisit these charts on Friday. Or maybe Saturday. Friday's the 4th. But yeah, that's my quick overview for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. I will check back later with a stream just going over some of the stock trades I had this week.